My name is Laura, and this is my experience. I was at my niece's baby's christening with my daughter and my boyfriend. And while we were there, my boyfriend, who happens to be psychic, mentioned that he felt someone was trying to make contact with him. We went over to my niece, and my boyfriend started to tell her things that only she knew about. And the way he was talking, using swear words, it sounded just the way my late sister Esther, who was her mum, would talk when she was angry. My boyfriend doesn't swear. He then spoke to my nephew, Esther's son, and told him that he and his wife were to stop arguing. And I asked my nephew if this was true. He said yes, but no one in the family knew about his marital problems. My boyfriend then spoke to my sister Alice and told her to watch out for chest pain. And a few months later, Alice was diagnosed with heart problems. My boyfriend had to go outside for some air. He said my late sister Esther had so much to say. He was really embarrassed because this was the first time he had met my family, and the hall the christening was being held in just happened to be the place where Esther collapsed and died the year before. There was another time when I was sitting in a séance in Greenock. My daughter was with me at the table. There was a woman who was sitting in the circle, and she was really upset because her mother wasn't coming through. My daughter asked the woman if she looked like her late mother, because my daughter could see an older woman standing behind her left shoulder, and that she looked like an older version of the woman sitting at the table. The woman replied that she did look like her late mother. I suddenly felt a terrible pain in my back, but thought it was just from sitting too long. I made a comment to the rest of the table about my back pain, when the same woman said that was the last thing her mother said to her before she died.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
Yes, I have.
My name's Tommy, and here's my experience. In a shop in the old part of Greenock, talking to the proprietor of the shop, when I felt a hand on my shoulder, gently pulling and turning me round. While I was turning, I actually apologised to the person, thinking that I was blocking their way to the counter, and when I turned there was no one there. On another occasion, I was working in a garage, and I had an old friend, a retired man, in fact he was in his 70s, used to walk up the hill to the bothy for a cup of tea, 10 in the morning. Done this every day, except at weekends. I had occasion to be working in the first story of the garage, which was down the hill, where old Tommy used to stop and have his breather on the way up. He had a dog, by the way. And I was under this lorry, and I heard the footsteps, and I looked down along my legs, and I could see Tommy's legs at my feet. I knew it was him because of his the tweed trousers and the brown brogue shoes that he always wore. So I was asking him, I heard him coming, didn't hear the dog coming, so I asked him where the dog was the day. And just at that moment, my foreman came round the corner and asked me who I'd been speaking to. And I told him I was talking to Tommy. He says, he informed me then that Tommy died just before midnight the night before. I wondered why he came to me.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
I believe so.
My name is Samuel, and this is my experience. I was busy with my computer in my bedroom. It was early evening, and my dad was in the kitchen, which is about 30 foot away from my bedroom. We were alone in the house. Suddenly a music box, which is in our hallway and is between the kitchen and my bedroom, started up. I was very surprised to hear this, and I got out of my chair to find out what was going on. When I opened my bedroom door, I saw my dad coming up the hallway to meet me because he too wanted to know what was going on. We met at the music box. Just as suddenly as it had started, the music box stopped. My dad lifted the table lamp, which sits in the top of the box, and examined the music box. The mechanism wasn't wound up, and the lid of course wasn't opened. This happened on the 13th of December, my mum's birthday. As my mum had been dead for a number of years, I took it that it was a sign from her. That music box has never done that before. Ever. It hasn't done it again. Since.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
No.
My name's Jackie and I'd like to tell you my experience. I own the business that has been in our family for 37 years. It's a shop in Brisbane Street. I took over 4 years ago, and on the very first day I took possession of the shop, I had a strange experience. I opened the shop at 6 o'clock one Saturday morning. I was the only person there. I was standing behind the counter feeling quite proud of myself for what I'd achieved and delighted that the shop had still stayed in the family and not gone out with. I was standing behind the counter, and about 10 feet away from me in the corner of the shop was where we kept bottles of iron brew in crates stacked on their side. One of the bottles fell out of the crate and rolled about 10 feet along the floor and stopped just at my feet. I wasn't afraid at all. I didn't feel frightened. I had a very comfortable feeling with it. When I told my family, my mother and my aunt both said it was my grandmother, because she was pleased that I had taken over the family business. My next experience was I was in the kitchen of the house, which is above the shop, and I was preparing rolls to sell in the shop. My other half had gone to work, and I felt a hand on my shoulders, between my shoulder blades, and I turned round because I thought I'd forgotten something, but there was nobody there. But I felt a definite pressure of somebody's hand on my back. The other strange thing that has happened is that I have a customer who comes into the shop, not weekly, but every couple of weeks, and she always chats away to me, nice day, just the usual run-of-the-mill stuff. This particular day she came in and she said, "Could I speak to you in private, please?" So I went outside the shop with her, and she said that every time she comes into the shop, she sees a woman standing behind me. She said this woman is pleased, and she said, "Today I have to let you know that she is very pleased." Take from that what you will, but I think there's somebody here.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
No.